So I've got back from a fairly hectic day at work. Not like rushed off my feet, but just like I feel like I didn't get what I needed to get done. So I came back, I've sat in the office, I packed an order and had a look at some content creation stuff. I'm trying to sort of get a jump start for the new year. It's going alright at the moment. I seem to have found some extra motivation, which is good. It doesn't usually happen for me, so I'm sort of running with it at the moment. I've got loads of blog post ideas. I've got a couple of videos that I need to finish for how to do knitting, so they're going to be sock making videos essentially. So how to use my sock ruler, how to knit socks in the round, just sort of beginner stuff, but they need to be finally edited, so I've got to get around to doing those. I've been trying to basically do loads of admin stuff as well lately, so I'm trying to treat Woollen Wytch a bit more like a proper business, I guess. So I've set up myself some KPIs, so I think what's it, key performance indicators, so sales figures that I want to keep track of and stuff to like compare to previous years and stuff as well, and I just think they might help me see where it's going, what's going right, what's going wrong, what I need to concentrate on in the new year. Sort of interesting at the moment, some of the stuff that I've been seeing. I've also had a questionnaire running as well, which I know some of you guys have filled out, so it's really appreciated. It's been really interesting reading the results of those as well, and I'm so glad quite a few of you are excited for what I plan on bringing in the new year. So it's coming towards the end of January now. I guess I can probably reveal I started a sale at the start of January, and in order to completely empty my shelves, so empty all of these boxes behind me of merino yarn, because I am looking to go 100% British yarn. So that is wool grown and produced in Britain, and then also spun in Britain. So there's a fair, well actually majority of the wholesalers that I've come across, and the majority of those I know popular yarn dyers use. Whilst the wool might be British, it's actually sent across to I think Peru, South America somewhere, and spun there because it's cheaper, and then brought back, which I don't, it's never really sat right with me, and I've never really liked the sort of sustainability of it, or the lack of sustainability of it. So I've been looking and testing some wholesalers. I think I've worked where I want to be with those ones. I've started dyeing them up, they look really good. I've just got to roll it out to all the other colourways, at least to the most popular ones, and then I can start putting those into the shop. But to start with, I need to empty these boxes so that I actually have somewhere for the new stuff to go. So the January sale has been pretty successful. The boxes, I've managed to go down one box, and all of these have just the meagre ends of it. So if there's any merino that you've been after, please check the shop, because once it's gone, it's gone. I don't think I'll go back to doing merino again, not unless it's British merino. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. New things, new adventures, but for now, for the rest of this month really, I just want to concentrate on setting myself up for success for the rest of the year. If that means I've got to do all of the admin now, then that's what I've got to do. Because I know once I get sucked into something else, the admin tends to drop almost immediately. So I've got to get up together with my bookkeeping. I want to basically write out all of the blog posts for the rest of the year and schedule those off, or at least like put the drafts out, because I never seem to find the time to write them otherwise. So that is my plan for the next few evenings, I think, but at least for tonight, get some of it done. So I've just come back from work. I look a bit fresh from the walk. I have kept my shoes on, weirdly, because it actually helps me remember that I need to get on with stuff rather than just slouching in my pyjamas. So I am going to dye, not in that sense, I'm going to dye yarn today. So I've just got back from work. I'm going to try and dye up a few pans of my new base, get them going, try and get the more popular colours dyed and ready, because I've got Wonderwool in a couple months and it will come round quickly, so I need to get on with this now. So I've set it all up in the kitchen, ready to go now. You can tell I've just come back from work because I've still got my work hoodie on and everything. So alright, let's start with just remembered, we get the internet again tomorrow, hopefully. The engineer guy is coming round to hopefully sort everything and reconnect everything. He came round, God, back in like October, when back in October, to connect us all up, and then came for like 10 minutes and then left and didn't actually do anything. So we've been without internet now since about October, November time. We literally nothing. We were given, about a month into it, we were given one of those little 4G dongle things to try and use the internet, but our house is in a bit of a signal dead zone, so we've not really even been able to do that. So it's been a nightmare. But the guy is coming back round tomorrow to sort everything, but to sort everything he has to run a cable from our front door up the steps into our flat and then around our living room to the power outlet that he wants to use for the router. But to do that I have to move shelving, just basically everything in the living room, so that you can actually run the cable around the roof, the ceiling, the roof, whatever, you know what I mean. So that is my another plan that I've got to do for this evening. So I've got to dye the yarn, which I've got going now in the kitchen. You can probably hear it steaming away. So I've got my induction hob going, and I've also got it going on my gas hob as well. So in between sorting out the yarn, I'm going to be sorting out the shelving unit. This is going to be a fun afternoon / evening because it's already 4:30. Better get a move on. Yeah, better get a move on. So today's plan is to redesign my yarn labels. Some of you might have seen, but I handwrite pretty much every label. So I print out this bit onto recycled card, and then I handwrite each colourway and what the yarn base is,
but I'm changing yarn bases. This will be my slightly fancier British wool one, but you can see I'm sort of trying to squidge everything into the contents, so I've got to redesign these so it doesn't feel quite as cramped. So I'm going to have a bit of a play around and move stuff about and see if I can free up some of this space so that I can actually write the contents of the yarn on. So this new base is my sort of Shetland BFL base. It's like a nice introductory into British yarn. So it's Blue Face Leicester, which a lot of people will know, and is super soft and is sort of the British equivalent to merino in a way, or at least your standard merino. But this one mixes in some Shetland, so you get a nice bit of toothiness in the yarn, but it also has some grey alpaca just to soften it up again as well. But as you can see, on every single label I've tried to write this on, it just looks a little bit cramped. So I'm going to move some stuff about and see if I can redesign this and make it look a little better. So what I'm thinking of doing is removing the pound sign and the SKU number, because I don't actually use those, not even when I sell in the pop-up shop in Bristol. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting rid of this pound sign and the SKU, moving the weight and the meterage down here to give this contents the entire box. Then I think that should be enough. And then if any shops wants to stock me or anything, I can either have another think about these, or a lot of shops will use their own SKU numbers, so this sort of becomes null and void anyway, or at least in my prior experience with shops. So a lot of them will make their own labels and either stick it on or like tie it with some string and stuff. So I might just get rid of these two altogether. When I sell at shows, I always have like a big banner that has the price on it, so again, this doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, so I think I might do that, and that should be enough to change everything up, I guess. Okay, let's have a look at these. So, new ones. This is old ones. So, there's a little bit of difference, but I think it should be alright. I guess the true test is actually writing out the yarn on this one and giving it a go. So as a little side-by-side comparison, that is the new one. So we've got the weight down here and the meterage, contents there. It feels a little bit nicer to write in. I think I have to get used to it, but that's what it was. That's what it was before, and that's what it is now. Just a little bit nicer to read, I think. It just looks a little bit nicer. So I think I can keep with this new design. Luckily, I'm changing all of my yarn from scratch again, so I'm starting from very basics again, so I can do these nicely. The Shetland yarn, just to differentiate it from my standard bases, which will now be BFL, which will still come on this brown recycled paper. This will be my standard base, and then the slightly fancier bases that I'm planning on doing will come in a light grey, just so that you can tell the difference between the two. So I have a standard base and a fancy base. This is my thinking anyway, to try and keep it separate, make it a little bit more, I don't know, visually easier to see on the stand, and for me to like search through my yarn bins to find stuff as well. This is what I'm thinking.